Each year at its fall commencement, Missouri State University presents the Bronze Bear Award, which is the highest honor the university bestows. The award recognizes those who have exhibited extraordinary achievement and outstanding support for Missouri State University. Recipients of the Bronze Bear are approved by the Board of Governors based on recommendations by the University President and Administrative Council and supported by the Faculty Senate, Staff Senate, and Student Government Association. Today, we are honored to present the 20th Bronze Bear Award to former Governor Matt Blunt. Mr. Blunt served 14 years in the Navy and Naval Reserve, which included assignments on the USS Jack Williams and USS Peterson. As a reservist, he was mobilized after the September 11, 2001 attacks. While serving in the Navy, Mr. Blunt was awarded 4 Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medals, as well as numerous other military awards. In 2004, Matt Blunt was elected the 54th governor of the state of Missouri, carrying 101 of the state's 114 counties. As governor, he eliminated a $1.1 billion deficit of the state of Missouri and delivered balanced budgets, a surplus, and tax relief. He delivered dramatic increases in education funding, totaling $1.2 billion new dollars for preschool, elementary, secondary, and higher education over 4 years, the largest education funding increase without a tax increase in Missouri history. Higher education funding increased by over 19% during his term in office. In 2005, as governor, Mr. Blunt signed Senate Bill 98, which authorized Southwest Missouri State University to drop the Southwest from its name and become a more prominent part of higher education in our state. Much of the university's growth over the past 13 years can be traced back to Mr. Blunt's support for our vision of Missouri State University. It's my honor to present Matt Blunt, the 20th Bronze Bear, on behalf of the faculty, students, and staff of Missouri State University.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, President Smart, for that kind introduction. And it's been a thrill for me to be back in Greene County and in Springfield. I'm a Greene Countyan by birth, and it's a sense of excitement on the university campus that you have to experience to I think, really understand. And it's been great to visit with board members prior to the ceremony. I always thought of the honor involved in being selected for the board, but it's a lot of work, and I'm grateful for their service and willingness to be here today. It was a privilege to see my friend, the mayor of Springfield, Ken McClure, who cares a lot about this institution, both as a former student and administrator. And then, of course, it's been a privilege to spend time today with my mother, Roseanne Blunt, who is here for this ceremony. It is a real privilege, though, to receive this Golden Bear Award, the Bronze Bear Award, excuse me, and I want to thank President Smart and others for it. Past recipients, I know, have done so much for this institution, and it's truly humbling to be in their ranks. I do remain very grateful for the opportunity that many of you provided me to serve as governor of Missouri, and I do believe that working together, we were able to achieve a great deal for our state and for colleges and universities within Missouri. I had a pledge as governor to never cut funding for education and to increase funding for education, and as President Smart mentioned, we did that, increasing funding by nearly 20% over those 4 years. And in addition, we quadrupled needs-based scholarship assistance, launched the Lewis and Clark Initiative, which had a direct impact here with the renovation of Seisliff Hall, and it was a part of an effort to strengthen higher education in our state. As was mentioned, one of my most exciting moments as governor was the privilege to advocate for and sign legislation changing the name of Southwest Missouri State University to Missouri State University. I called for this change as a candidate, and we made it a legislative priority in 2005. This legislation was actually difficult to pass, and far more difficult than it should have been. but the name change was an accurate reflection on the place that then Southwest Missouri State had grown to occupy in our state's higher education system. And I was indeed honored to be on campus on March 17, 2005, the 100th anniversary of this institution, to sign this legislation into law. Now, in addition to receiving this award, I'm allowed to make a few comments focused on the primary reason we're all here. And that, of course, is the graduation of these students and their commencement of other endeavors. I don't intend to impart all of life's wisdom in a brief commencement address, but it does appear to me that there are indeed some lessons to be learned from the name change itself. So first, what lessons could we learn? I would say first, to persevere. The name change was not achieved overnight or even in one legislative session or even in 1 year. It was a long effort. I had an opportunity to cajole legislators and make the case to the public and ultimately sign the bill making the change many Missourians wanted, but this had been an ongoing effort. In fact, in the year 1986, the idea for the name change was first raised. In the following years, the chances of bringing the name change into fruition would ebb and flow, but True Bears did not give up. They spent years building support and coalitions for this change. Ultimately, they persevered, and 2 decades later, they saw their dream become a reality. And Missouri State University, and the designation of Missouri State University, has had a tremendous impact on Springfield, the Ozarks, and Missouri. I'd say a second lesson to be learned would be to not be afraid of change. Change is the only constant in life. Many of the opponents of the name change were well-intentioned Missourians who feared what the name change would mean for the institutions that held their allegiance. They worried it would diminish the resources or undermine the prestige of the schools they knew and loved. In fact, Missouri State has strengthened all of higher education in our state. No college or university is worse off because of the rise of Missouri State. At the same time, Missouri State has emerged as a potent example of what a university can do to improve our state and expand opportunities for individual Missourians. The fears and concerns of name change opponents were not well placed, and they're a reminder that a knee-jerk reaction to defend the status quo, instead of that sort of knee-jerk reaction, we should thoughtfully think through the potential of new ideas. I think a third lesson we could learn, and there aren't a lot of lessons, so I'll be brief, but the third lesson we could learn is you can disagree without being disagreeable. And I was always an advocate for the name change, but I knew we needed to listen to opponents of the idea and change minds if we were going to be successful. Simply dismissing the other side's arguments and assumptions, simply trying to bunker inside the echo chamber of a safe space would have been a mistake. Listening to opposing views can help you become a stronger advocate for what you believe. Finally, I would suggest the name change and its results are evidence that life is not a zero-sum game. As I said just a few moments ago, no college or university is worse off because of the rise of Missouri State. As Missouri State has soared, all of our state's citizens have benefited with more economic growth, greater economic activity, and ultimately more revenue to fund the needs of the state's and Missouri citizens. The growth of Missouri State has led to a bigger pie, not a smaller slice for other institutions. So I know nobody likes a long commencement address, and I'm indeed humbled to receive this award. So I do just want to leave you with the admonition to support and bolster others, knowing that it will not undermine you. Don't fear the unknown, and indeed persevere. I wish God's blessings on you, your families, and this university. Thank you.